This story was from about 20 years ago. I'm an art student in college, and I'd spent the day in the studio, so I'm very, very tired. I'm driving home. I didn't live far from the college, a couple blocks away, and I'm at a stoplight, and I'm waiting for the light to change. And suddenly it hit me. A big white pickup truck rear-ended me while I'm stopped at a stoplight. And I get out, and I look at my station wagon, which is now a wrinkled compact, and I look at the truck, which is not harmed at all, and I walk over to the guy. He's rolling down the window, and he says to me, "What happened?" And I look at the cars, and I say, "I think some idiot hit my car," right? We exchange insurance cars, and that all works out fine. We didn't get to be friends. We didn't fall in love. It's not that kind of story. But a couple weeks later, I noticed that I have this pain in my lower left abdomen, what medical experts call the tummy region. And I have student health insurance, so I go to the doctor. And I'm talking to the doctor, and they look at me, they examine me the same way my father did when I asked him for money. They're like, drinking? And I said, no. Smoking? No. Drugs? No, right? And then the doctor says, so what do you do, Mr. Lovejoy? And I thought, great, I'm in pain, and I'm also boring my doctors. So I need to tell them something. So I say, well, I had this car accident. And they say, oh, well, maybe when the seat belt grabbed you, it bruised your muscles. So if you just relax, take it easy, it should go away. But a couple weeks later, and I'm still having this pain in my left side. So I go to the doctors, and they say we're going to run some tests, which for doctors means, get liquids. So they ask for blood, urine, whatever I had available, and they run the test, and I come back, and they say it's inconclusive. So we're going to have to dive deeper, which means for them a colonoscopy, right? Because they looked everywhere else. So they tell me, and I'm a little apprehensive because I've never had one, not even for fun. So they tell me what to expect. We make the appointment. The doctor's office calls up. They say, just clear liquids before you have it, and we want you to drink this bowel preparation agent, which is like the worst kind of smoothie. And, I drank it. And then I get a call from the office that said, did you drink the liquid? Are you prepared? We're going to have it tomorrow. And I say, yeah, okay. And they say, we may have to call you tomorrow because we may have to cancel. And I say, why? Well, your doctor has got kidney stones and he may be in the hospital. So sure enough, the next morning they call and they say, your doctor's in surgery, he cannot do the procedure. And I think, great, I got regular for nothing, right? So 2 weeks later, if he's up to it, we make the appointment, go in, I drank the bowel preparation agent again. I'm starting to like it now, right? And go in, and here I am, I'm on this table in that hospital gown on all fours, waiting for Godot, and the doctor comes in with all of these young men and women. And they all got pads, and I think, what, an art class, And the doctor says, hey, how you doing, Robert? I said, I'm fine, I really felt for you, are you okay? And he says, yeah, I'm fine. Robert, it's a teaching hospital here, so the students have not seen this procedure before, and they're really excited. Do you mind if they watch? And I say, well, it's not my best side, but yeah, sure, right? And he says, okay, we're going to give you a conscious sedation, which means that you're going to be conscious, but you're not going to remember any of this. So you're going to ride home. And I said, well, my sister will take me. So they say, count back from 100. I get to 98, I'm out. When I wake up, I'm in my sister's car. I don't even know how I got dressed. And we're driving along, and she says, you kept forgetting. You kept saying the same thing. And I said, well, what did I say? You said, ouch, quit it, and I want a calzone, right? I got the calzone, right? So come back. It turns out that the diagnosis is I have Crohn's disease, which, if you're not familiar with I know, well, feel sorry for me. Buy my dinner. It means that I have a blockage between my small intestine and the large intestine. And so what am I going to do about this? And the doctor says, well, You're going to be in pain. You're going to have moments of abdominal pain. We're going to give you a prescription to handle it, but eventually the pain's going to get so great, and there's going to be a blockage, and we're going to have to cut out part of your intestine. So, I was glad I saw him early in the morning so it could make my day. And so he says, okay, and he gives me prednisone. And I say, well, what are the side effects? And he goes, well, it's going to make you hairier. It's going to make you round-faced. And your thoughts are going to be a little scattered. So it's going to make me more like me, And also, you're going to lose weight, right? In my case, I was losing weight. So I went from, like this, like Ryan Gosling, to, I was reduced to like 150 pounds over the 16 months that I put up with this. And so every week, it felt like a spear that was coming from inside out, or like a creature was living in here. And so I learned how to handle it. So for 16 months, until finally, in the middle of the night, about 1 a.m., I'm just doubled over. I hadn't been able to eat anything and keep it down all day. And I'm in total pain. And so I got to go to the hospital. Now, fortunately, the hospital was close by. So I wait, and it's at 7 a.m. I go to the hospital. And I call my dad as I'm on the way. And I say, I told him what was happening. He says, so you're at the hospital? And I say, no, I'm on my way. He says, well, Robert, why didn't you go at like 1 when you were doubled over? And I said, well, everybody was asleep. I didn't want to disturb my doctor. And he said, Robert, there's some times when my father regrets that he named me after himself, right? Hey, Robert, why do you think they call it an emergency room, son? It's like 7-Eleven. It's open 24 hours. You can go inside, right? So I check in. They're preparing me for the operation. They put a tube up my nose and down my throat, which I have to try twice. And I'm thinking at that point, I'd rather be doubled over in my studio apartment, And they say, we're going to operate on you the next day. You're going to have to shave your belly. So now I'm going to be bald. It's like I'm losing my hair from the stomach out. I modeled my hairstyle after that later. And then, we're going to operate on you. We're going to cut away part of your intestine. So they do the operation. I wake up in the emergency room, and I've got IV tubes. I've got these 2 bags for my kidney because my stomach, digestive system's not working. They stuck a urinary catheter up me, so I'm like a rude version of Pinocchio. And I'm waking up there, and I look up, and I see somebody in the room. And I thought, is it a nurse or an angel? But no, it's this guy that looks like Lurch from the Addams Family. And he explains to me that he's the partner of my doctor. And he says, how are you doing? And I said, well, no more pain. I feel great. After 16 months of pain, I feel fantastic. He says, there's a 60% chance it'll come back. Have a nice day. And now I don't feel so great, But I'm spending a week in the hospital. Maybe if I mend faster, maybe out. But I'm sitting there, I'm in the hospital, I'm in a bed, I'm watching TV. So it would be pretty much what I was going to do anyway that week. So, and the people were nice. I had a nurse that came in. She was one of those people that makes your heart really smile, because she comes in and she's like, the first time she sees me, I'm feeling, recovering, and she's like, honey, how come we were born beautiful instead of rich? And I didn't feel so beautiful, but that was great. And I lost a lot of weight because the only thing I could eat was ice chips the entire week, right? Because my stomach wasn't working. So later she had to give me a shot, and she goes, turn over, I need to give you a shot in your tush. And I turn over, and she goes, honey, you don't have as much backside as you used to. Turn some more, right? She gives me the shot. My sister came to visit me, which was nice. Every day at lunchtime, she would bring a big tray of lunch so I could smell the food while I was enjoying my ice chips. Hey, the ice chips were better than Dippin' Dots, let me tell you that. So, but eventually I want to get out of the hospital. There's nothing good on TV. I just want out. And they said, we can't let you go until your stomach starts to work, until your stomach is digesting again. Otherwise you get the kidney bags, and until you can urinate again. And then my stomach started to make some noise on the 6th day. So on the 7th day, this guy comes in scrubs. And I say, hello. And he says nothing. He flips the blanket. Then he flips up my gown. He grabs my penis. He squeezes 2 times like a horn. And he pulls out the urinary catheter. I was surprised. Yeah, me too. I was surprised also, right? And but it worked. It like jump-started my penis. So then I'm hopping out of the bed. I go there, and everything seems to be working. So now I could be checked out. So they put me in the wheelchair, and as I'm being wheeled out, I'm thinking, you know, all this confusion, all of these tests, 16 months of pain. What's the lesson in this? What have I learned? Because, you know, there's got to be a lesson in this somewhere. It's one of those milestones you go through in life. Like, you know, you learn to ride a bike, you fall down, you get up, you learn that if you want to achieve something, there's got to be pain. You know, you fall in love for the first time, your heart gets broken, and then you learn the heart can mend. And if a doctor can't figure out what's wrong with you, they're going to poke and prod and pull at you until something happens, and then they're going to send you a bill. So that's what I learned. Thank you.